Ed Scott, his opponent, just the one loss this year for Scott. These two did not meet during the duel.
Interested to see how they feel, both of them being up a weight class.
Ed Scott, redshirt freshman out of the state of Pennsylvania. Just really put it all together this year. He had a tough finish to close out last year. Really used that for motivation during the offseason. Been a bonus point machine throughout the season for the Wolfpack, but he is running into a buzzsaw tonight in Austin O'Connor, the defending national champion from a year ago at 149. Connor bumping up to 157 this year, just the one loss on the season.
You see Scott's taking a more measured approach. Usually he comes in and jams the underhook, but right now he's being a little more cautious with AOC, and understandably so. This is defending national champion, although it's at 149.
Earlier today in the semifinals, O'Connor just unleashed a 3-minute fury on Wade Unger. Opened up a huge lead, and then he was able to coast in the second and third periods to punch his ticket into tonight's final. Keep in mind, Scott, the 3 seed, this will be his third match of the day. Started with a win over Connor Brady and then followed suit, knocking off the 2 seed, Keating of Virginia.
The first real offensive attack, and now they're starting to open up a little bit. Austin O'Connor's done a good job of keeping his right arm in to prevent the underhook from Ed Scott. So you see, every time Ed Scott tries to put that left side underhook in, Austin O'Connor puts that elbow in to block it off, to stymie that underhook.
Two wrestlers disengaged. 2 minutes into this first period, no score.
Ooh, little roll action, almost with a little duck under. So they realize that they are the first match. You know, finals, trying to feel each other out a little bit. They haven't wrestled each other this year. But once points start to get on the board, that's when guys start to open up a little bit. You can see that they studied, obviously, Ed Scott. Little sweep single coming right on up. That was a good sweep single. But good defense here by AOC. They're still in. They're still in right here, as long as any part of the body is on the inside of the cylinder. So Sean, peep that out there. Ed Scott went for an underhook, but then when he went, he dropped down for the sweep single.
O'Connor coming off the national championship last year for North Carolina, the first Tar Heel wrestling title since '95, the 20th all-time by a North Carolina wrestler. And you go back, C.D. Mock won a title in '82, Rob Cole in '88, and then the greats T.J. Jaworski won 3 of them. And now O'Connor a little shaken up after the exchange just 8 seconds into this period.
You know what, Sean, we said that in the semifinal match that something wasn't, right with O'Connor. And O'Connor looks like he's trying to gut this one out. We're going up, we're going up. This is what Ed Scott does. He's going right back to that right leg. The right sweep single. Little slip action right there. And what I saw was Coleman Scott looked over to Coach Jamil Kelly and gave him some signal.
O'Connor able to get out, but again, all the tension right now on what he tweaked earlier today in the semifinals. And a blood timeout. So let's take another look as they clean up the blood with Scott's exchange here with O'Connor and the reaction from Austin O'Connor.
Yeah, something happened there. and he kind of tried to walk it off. He's so tough. We saw it in the semifinal match. Then I talked to some of the people at UNC, and I said, you know, is Austin O'Connor all right? They say, of course he's wrestling. He's good. He just tweaked something. But we're seeing that something is not 100%.
Year number 7 for Coleman Scott. 2008 NCAA champion for Oklahoma State. Olympic bronze medalist. What a job he's done in Chapel Hill. You look at these two corners with Pat Popolizio and Coleman Scott. Solid recruiting class after recruiting class. Mix in the veteran leadership that these two teams already had, guys like O'Connor, and it's a pretty good recipe for success.
Austin O'Connor shooting his doubles a little further out than he wants to be. He wants to close the gap a little more to get to the legs. It looks like he has to double up a little bit. Just one shot isn't getting in. He's going to have to double up to get to the legs of Ed Scott. Ed Scott's doing a good job here. He's in there looking for a trip here, but brings it to the match. Short time, nothing yet.
Well, you got to show some toughness, and Austin O'Connor has done that throughout his time. And his buddy Daniel Cormier, a great pitcher from this past summer. And you know, you look at the relationship between those two. Cormier, the accomplished national runner-up from his days in Stillwater. He signed with Cormier and Zinc and Entertainment. We're excited to welcome Daniel to our ESPN coverage in Detroit here in a couple of weeks, Rock.
Yeah, he's an Olympian, UFC champion, and really good on the mic.
O'Connor ranked number 4. Recent poll, Ed Scott, number 11. O'Connor will start in the down position in this third period, a 3-1 lead. And twice now we've seen Scott shoot late toward the end of a period, both times coming up empty.
If we remember last year when Austin O'Connor wrestled Bryce Andonian, he got put on his back and had to gut it back to win in a tough match. Now he has to try and gut this out in a different way because he's obviously a little injured. That's the second headlock that he's thrown, and you don't really see Austin O'Connor throw headlocks. So I'm just questioning, you know, does he have the strength to push off? More blood.
And another blood timeout as Ed Scott will go into the corner. Scott's been a really neat story for fans around Raleigh. He walks out. His song is Seek and Destroy with Metallica, and that's going to be his motto this year. Bonus points galore for Scott.
That's what he's supposed to do, score points. Each year, Pat Popolizio, head coach of NC State, says you have to earn your starting position. It's not given. Just because you had a great year the year before doesn't mean that you're going to be the starter the next year. And Ed Scott is showing that 149 up to 57. He is the one to lead the pack at 157.
Scott really changed his lifestyle away from the mat this past offseason, eating a lot cleaner, really not focusing so much on wrestling when he's not on the mat. He felt he had to create some separation between the two, everyday life and wrestling, and he's put together the perfect balance. Here comes O'Connor shooting in, waterfall position, over the top goes Scott. He's continuing to crack down as O'Connor.
He's trying to bring that ankle down and then hook it with his leg. Now he's going to try and pop his head up. This is a neutral danger. That looks like a neutral danger, but he's going to try to pop his head out. This is looking tight here. The best scoring position for O'Connor thus far, but good fight by Scott. Good grip here. Stalemate. More blood. Man.
Just take a look at O'Connor's singlet. Drops of blood all over, splattered, and more on the mat. And this was a cracked nose that Scott had earlier in the day in a semifinal win. Not a lot of time to heal in a one-day competition. Boy, how beneficial is this to prepare for the NCAAs coming up in just a couple of weeks. Pat Popolizio, his 10th year in Raleigh, 16th year overall. New York native, 4 ACC championships in his time with the Wolfpack. 3 consecutive, looking for number 4 in a row tonight. His team in a primetime position to get it done.
Back to that single. Good defense. Ed Scott's doing a good job of finishing, but look, nothing. He's going to just stay here. You can just eat the clock here. You're just trying to get a baseball grip and work your way back to the center. He's got to keep it in the center. Take his time. Nothing yet. Out of bounds. Stall call. Absolutely right. Austin O'Connor was trying to avoid action. More blood. So we're about to see a flurry. We're about to see a flurry. We all see that Austin O'Connor is not 100%, but he's a defending national champion. He's just gutting us out.
O'Connor in search of his 3rd ACC title. Back-to-back championships in 2020 and 2021. And that is in jeopardy right now with the freshman Ed Scott. One last rush from O'Connor.
See what happens. Short time.
And North Carolina State starts the night with a bang. So much experience on this roster, but they have blended in some youth beautifully. And Ed Scott, one of the youngsters, making an impact.
He did what he had to do. He just goes in, doing what he was supposed to do. And here's a slick headlock, popped his head out control, the only takedown in the match, and Ed Scott did what he had to do, and that's control and beat the defending national champion. Good start.